your marriage. Finance will give you that air. And from the earlier statement for the younger people, the 19-year-old or those under 20, say up to about 30, and they are not married, I just say to them, finances is key. Start investing in your future. Let me even just digress briefly. Younger people, younger men, they start rising up, making loads of money. And if they are not careful, they are then put in a place where they then have to start looking after the extended family, have to look after their siblings. Some of these situations are unavoidable. But even in that situation, you've still got to be selfish to put some money aside for your future. Because when we fail to do that, we end up in the season of gathering, spending. And the financial drain on us reduces our ability to become a fountain.
Is it a red flag if that 19-year-old has met someone and anytime they talk about money, one person doesn't want to talk about it?
Oh, run away from that. It doesn't matter how pretty she is. Run away.
Or he is.
Well, from the man's perspective, so run away.
Why?
Because the problems we face in our marriages were not invented when we said I do. The problems we face in our marriage was already in existence, but we never spoke about it. But the day you say I do, all the things you're doing, all the nonsense that you're doing, that all of a sudden your wife is going, oh, hold on a minute. I didn't know he was like this. No, he was always like that. You just did not have that conversation. So when I say run away, literally, we've got to look at, hey, we can't talk about finances. If we can't talk about it now, imagine when the winds of life blow in an eastern wind, where you, the man, your business is struggling. If you didn't talk about finances then, how can you go to the woman who you didn't talk to her about it to now help you? So if the woman does not want to talk about finances and she says to you from the onset, I expect a man to look after me, to pay for everything, and you turn around and say, okay, that's me. That's my chest. Shoot and I'll take it on board. If that's what you both agree. So you see, if you, the man, agree that this is what I want to do, God help you. Go out there and do it. My dad was working. My mom was housewife or the homemaker. At some point, my mom's dream was to own a hotel. He built a hotel for her. And my mom started. But the east wind always comes to us. And at one point, as successful as my dad was, finances, the economy of Ghana started affecting his cash flow. And the little money that when our mom was running her hotel, which my dad would laugh at the time, now became essential. So all of a sudden, that 10 cedis my mom was making was what was now holding the house together. But as children, we never knew that. As children, when it came to school fees, we went to see dad. When you ask mom for money, she said, go and talk to your dad. And dad was the pillar. But with time, as I was growing, I got to it, I thought, okay, this man was struggling. In speaking to my mom said, yes, he was struggling. But none of you would have known he was struggling because of the way we dealt with our finances. My dad did not believe in having a joint account. In fact, when I was getting married, he said, don't have a joint account. Because having a joint account means your wife would know everything about you. When you buy a house, put it in your name. Literally everything he said. And I was saved by having been exposed to a lifestyle once I got to the UK, where joint ownership was more appealing than single ownership. And from that point onwards, he has his reason, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's giving me an advice and I just apply it without thinking it through. The only thing that would be in my name or in my wife's name was when we bought cars, because you couldn't buy cars on HP and have it on joint names. All the properties were acquired, joint names. And thank God we're not divorced, but even if we were going to divorce, whatever I have achieved together, whatever we have achieved together in the marriage is what is calculated. And that is what the split comes from. So imagine if I had 1,000 cedis before, my 1,000 cedis is still protected. If during the marriage I am able to build 10,000 cedis, and sadly it comes to divorce, the law will look at the 10,000 cedis, not my 1,000.
I think that was a very good submission.
Thank you.
So there was this couple, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they first met, the girl was doing fantastic.
Mm.
She had a property, she had a good job, she had some money saved, she had over £30,000 saved, did a remortgage, and got a bit more money. The money together came up to about 50K. Met this guy. Initially, the guy appeared to be very level-headed, all of that, They got married. And then the man asked if he can have access to the money so he can do some investment in Ghana. The dude brought the money to Ghana. It was gone. As I speak to you, they divorced. And one of the things that really got them to divorce was the finance stuff. The man initially showed that he can be trusted with money.
Right.
So then every decision the woman now made was in her favor.
Mm-hmm.
Do you blame her?
Twice shy.
Do you blame her?
I don't. However, I would encourage a woman to have some therapy, because she becomes so insular that in the end, whoever comes her way, who might be totally different to the first person who's hurt her, will not benefit from her business acumen. Because because of that hurt, she's not allowing herself to grow. So she needs to have some therapy so that she can deal with that and get healed from that. Mistakes happen. And if, as you've said, the man has done what he's done, it doesn't mean that the man may not even learn in his next relationship. But we carry this baggage into the next relationship and we punish the next person for the sins that they never committed. So for the woman, yes, I understand. She has to protect herself. But get your self-worth, get your self-care. Be in a place where you are now back to almost before you met this guy, so you can dream again. One thing my grandfather said to me, he said the greatest gift he could give my mom at the time was education. And he said, once I've educated you, nobody can take it away from you. You are in business. How many times have we experienced this east wind that I'm talking about, where things have gone south? Your partners have walked away. You're left by yourself. You cried a little bit. Okay, not you. I cried a little bit. I cried a lot. I felt sorry for myself. And then one day I thought, okay, hold on. Enough crying. Get up. I dusted myself, went back out there and started pursuing the dream again. And it all starts coming back again. So what you know, in actual fact, when you go for divorce, what you know in terms of your business and how to generate money, that stays with you. So yes, I know it's painful. I know there are some people who've gone through divorce and it feels like they've been raped. Their money has been taken away from them. Take heart, get healed, and go back again.
They should do it again.
Go back again. not go back again to the same woman. No, go back again. Go back to building yourself up. Go back to building the business. Go back to building your dreams, because another woman will come. But if you are not secure in yourself, whoever comes your way, you would always see somebody who has become a scavenger, because that's all you will see. So let your eyes be clear. Allow yourself the opportunity to be healed. And brokenheartedness takes time. Emotional scars, emotional trauma takes time. Some people, it might take 7 years. It might take 10 years. And I encourage people, once you divorce, don't rush into getting married again. Get yourself healed. And the mistakes you've made, discuss it with the next person. If you didn't discuss finance before, talk about finance. And put those financial plans in place. Because the wonderful adage, little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. Somebody once gave me the illustration. If you put 1 penny down every single day for the next, it's escaped me. But if you put a penny down every single day, they calculated that after a certain time, you will end up with 1 million, 1 million cedis. I keep going to the sterling, but you end up with 1 million cedis. And simply put, that consistency, nobody can take it away from you. But when you're hurt, you doubt yourself. You second guess yourself. You think you're not worthy. But go back. Push again. And you rise.
When I was growing up in Ghana, right, I didn't know this whole 50-50 stuff. I never saw it. I'd always thought it was the man that provided.
That's the illusion.
Always. Well, I guess we can call it an illusion, but that's what I saw.
Yeah.
The men always did the hard work. It was only when we got to London and I realized that, Charlie, this thing, everyone's putting in the pot.
Yeah.
But then what I then also saw was that marriages were breaking down over there very quickly.
Yeah.
And marriages here were surviving because the men were providing. The ones that I saw.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, some of them are still standing. Majority of them.
Okay.
And the majority of the ones I saw there with the whole 50-50 stuff, it's not working. I've come to the conclusion that naturally a lot of women don't want to work.
Naturally, the nurturing part of a woman would speak out more. And that's why. So if the agreement is that she takes the role of the homemaker, and let's not belittle the amount of work that goes in making a home. Our fathers may have just thought, oh, she's a housewife, and that's it. She is a financial controller. She is a stock. She's an accountant.
My wife is a saver.
You understand?
Yeah.
So she is not looking after just nurturing the children. She's an educator. She's making sure that the house is running. And all of these things, our fathers would give the then chop money. And this wife will then manage that chop money and out of that, save money. There's a friend in the UK who, his wife and himself, they both decided from the onset that he would go out to work because he preferred his children to be at home with mum. After reading all the research tells us that when mothers are home, or if any homemaker, whether the dad or the mum are home, it helps the foundational years of the children so the children can excel. And they agree that. So, isn't it amazing? One income coming into the home meant that the guy was able to provide. They had budgets. So they knew what it was. And the conversation is, we can't afford it yet. It's not met with resistance or a tantrum. Why not? No, we know where we're going. So even in that agreement, they knew where they were going. Now, it got to a stage, this gentleman's business started to fail. He got a job. And now income was tight. The wife started to work. He needed to buy another car. And do you know the amazing thing? They went to the showroom, they saw the car, He said, okay, fine, I have to get a loan. The wife says, we don't need a loan. Pardon? For all the money you've been giving me for the house keep, I have been putting some aside. And this car was, I think, about £6,000 or £7,000. She took her debit card, paid for it. And the guy goes, he had always underestimated his wife's ability to save. In 2019, my wife and I have been building our house. It took us 15 years to finish the house, right? I left the UK with my wife. We came to Ghana because I couldn't dream anymore in the UK. I was in debt. My business had gone bad, and the banks and everybody was after me. So I came to an agreement with the banks, and I said to myself, well, I can't dream in the UK. I need to find somewhere that I can reinvent myself. So I said, okay, let me come back to Ghana. I came to Ghana in 2013, after 30 years of being in the UK, with £1,500 as what I had in my hand. At one point, my wife and I had over 12 properties. 2007, 2008 came, the world financial crisis. And I'm talking about, speak about finances. We bought properties because I just kept saying to my wife, let's buy it, let's buy it, let's buy it. I didn't sit down and plan with my wife. And to God be the glory. Because when the financial crisis hit, we were able to sell these properties. We didn't make a profit, but we didn't get into too much debt. And we left the UK, came to Ghana, 1,500. I don't have the classmate network in Ghana, but I had my wife. I'd never worked in Ghana, but I had my wife. And we came down and we started working. Having left Ghana for 30 years, not understanding the working ethos in Ghana, I came, we started working, trying to understand the ethics, trying to understand this envelope thing, all the things that we needed to do. 30 years of building a character will not be diminished by quick gain. I was not prepared to bribe anybody to get a contract. So it took time. It took 10 years. Now I see the shoots of progress. So 2019, my wife and I came to the agreement, and I said, sweetheart, if you don't go to the UK, we'll go bankrupt. So my wife went to the UK, went back working. She's a lecturer, so she went back to lecturing. Derek, in the space of 3 years, my wife saved enough money. Even though she was sending me money, she saved enough money for us to finish our house. And the house I'm talking about is the dream home. I wanted to buy a property in Hadleywood, and we couldn't afford it. And now, if I say Hadleywood, you're looking at a flat in Hadleywood at the time, 15, 20 years ago, was £1 million. That's a one-bedroom flat. And I wanted a mansion. At that time, we were looking at between £5 to £6 million to buy a house. And that's on mortgage. The house we have here in Ghana, we don't owe a pesewa on it. We are mortgage free. My wife. So I tell all the young men out there and all the men who are in my age group that if we do not speak about these things, if we do not plan with our wife, you do yourself a disservice, because the helper won't be able to help you achieve the goal. Today I'm talking to you, right? My business is running. I have staff in my office doing things. My wife is running her business. if I don't want to go spiritual on you with too much scriptures, but if I hadn't found my virtuous woman, next year, officially in Ghana, next year, I retire. I turn 60 next year. Derek, you tell me, if I don't discuss these things with my wife, will I still be alive? 2007, my health took a downward turn because of the financial difficulties I was going through. And that forced me to start talking about finance. So when I say it and it looks like, no, I have gone through, out of the 36 years of marriage, is in the last 15 to 20 years that I've been talking about finance with my wife. All along, I am the man, I'm supposed to provide. And I did all those things. And hey, it worked. But once things got tough, and I started saying, sweetheart, we won't make it. This month, I will miss the mortgage payments. No, we're not. And then she'll go in, pull money, and give me money. So we pay the mortgage. Then you can understand the essence of the conversation. So that's why I said it is the air. And once I got that freedom to be able to speak to my wife, it didn't affect my ego. In fact, being my virtuous woman means that when people see me, they think I have arrived. They think I am a wealthy man, and I am. I may be asset rich and liquid poor, but my wife has helped me to be who I am today. So I say to all the young men out there, if you're looking for a spouse, find somebody whom you can talk to. Find somebody who accepts you when you have nothing, but is prepared to work with your vision. So if we don't talk about finance, it becomes a problem. If we don't talk about intimacy, it becomes a problem. So the three reasons you gave us, communication, intimacy, and finance, if these three things are not spoken of in marriage, then the divorce is is just waiting to happen. And there are times that you've done everything and still the marriage breaks down. Walk away, tap yourself on the shoulder and say, hey, I gave you my best. And if you can do that, you haven't lost anything. You pick up the pieces. Of course it hurts, but you're going to pick up the pieces. And the next person that comes along, if anybody comes along, you'll be the better for them. And if not, you can go solo and still capture the best in the world. Life teaches us that there are peaks, there are troughs, or in our Ghana context, there are potholes. It's not every road that is tarred and is smooth. There are potholes. And when you hit a pothole, is your finances good enough shock absorber to weather that punch and keep going? Or does it just make that loud clanging noise for you to know that there's a problem? So I say to every young man out there, whether you're married or looking to get married, if you cannot talk about finance with your future wife now, you have a problem.
Let me stop you here for a minute. If you've been watching this show, I want you to subscribe and become part of the family. We are on a journey of changing the lives of people on this channel. And we appreciate you for being here. But if you haven't become part of the family, connect with us. Hit the subscribe button. Now let's carry on the conversation. So I'm very good at making decisions about business.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I talk to my wife about it,
Mm-hmm.
The way she goes on about it, she doesn't like it. I don't like it.
Mm.
So for that reason, I make the decision and then we move.
Mm. Is it working?
Is that a bad idea?
I'm asking you, is it working for you?
That was a question.
It's not a bad idea. But what you have to understand is the person who's closest to you, who knows your weakness, who knows your strength, is your wife. And part of my downfall was not listening to my wife when I presented her with a business deal that had come. And if I had gotten that business deal, it didn't matter